things sorted, but welcome. Does anyone here want to recap last week's session?
Absolutely fucking not.
Solid.
Kind of your job, DM.
As usual, as usual. All right. So last we left off, you guys had just arrived or were starting to arrive at the town of Gavin to uncover Teddy, your lordship of a potential town. Upon arrival to this town of Gavin, you spoke. You wandered down the streets to see a crowd gathering, a big crowd of 30 or 40 people. And amongst these people, or in the middle of these people, was a raggedy-looking man who began telling a story of how he traded his only food, a piece of jerky, to save himself from a monster in the forest. Immediately after the conclusion of the story, the town guard arrived to escort him to pay income tax on the only 14 copper he earned. Like a very minimum amount that was still being taxed. You guys, 100%. You guys tried to stand up for him, but they wouldn't have any of it. Upon Mr. Theodore Crow, introducing himself, they stated that Earl Cyril Bassett needed to speak with him as well about obviously his pending lordship. So after a short and very passive aggressive, or should I just say aggressive Teddy, conversation with Cyril Bassett, you guys were told of the small village of Suor Rûn, or the sacred place inside the region of the Omakaran. So you guys traveled there. It was only a few hours from Gavin, and spoke with the town leader Samuel, who was speaking with a very upset woman. Apparently, her child went missing, and it was due to a. They suspected it was a hag that lived in the region, in the forest region. So in short, you guys traveled. You said you'll save this woman's child. You traveled into the region itself, and came face to face with this hag who was surprisingly not hostile off the bat. Eisen, you went for a passive chat while Teddy tried
Would
to.
you like some fucking tea?
Pretty much. That's exactly what he said. And instead of agreeing, she just stared at Teddy, who was edging towards the cage to try and retrieve this woman's son. But she didn't say anything. She didn't mind. After Eisen turning and saying, "Oh, I'll go confer with my friends," Teddy attempted to go grab the child and thunderstep out of there, but you were immediately transported to a different realm after she counterspelled your teleport, and you were just stalked by these shadowy figures. This is the moment where you guys found the figure approaching behind you, stalking you throughout the forest as Mulch, an orc shaman who's equally been troubled by the hag. So after agreeing that you'd get the boy out of there, the hag just disappeared, vanished. You traveled back to the town, handed the boy back to his mother, and Teddy, you pulled a very smart move. Teddy himself disguised as the hag, and approached the town leader Samuel, who immediately confessed to be the one handing townspeople over in exchange for the protection from the region. And that is the night where we pick up after going to sleep in the local tavern. Teddy, you are awoken by 3 members of a group you recognized all too well. The Ambition of Mystics. You saw Claudius Cameron and 2 other members facing the 3 of you, Ravander and Eisen. So, with that being said, I need everybody to roll initiative, please.
Ooh. Fun. confirmed?
I'm assuming with what we discussed, my initiative will come into play once I actually fucking turn up.
Right, since Ewan and Marcus were
Patrolling, keeping the citizens safe.
Digging it out.
they will be joining rather soon.
Sleeping on a roof.
Or maybe not soon, who knows?
Where is initiative on this one?
Top right, if you see the combat tracker, you just have to click roll. I'll roll for you if you want, if you'd like. Otherwise, you can just go
Oh,
for
no,
it.
I got it.
You got it? Cool. So, first up, we have Claudius Cameron himself. Never mind, we have Eisen, apparently. Eisen
I'm not
Sniper
hungry, I
the
got a
roll.
14.
You got a 14? Cool, cool.
Yeah,
I'll add you in.
he'll add us when we get there. Don't worry, Ewan.
Oh, okay, no, but like I don't even have like a page, so
Yeah.
There you go.
You'll sort it. Oh, cheers.
Cool, there you go. 14.
Did Teddy start off by firing an Eldritch Blast?
He did indeed. Teddy, go ahead and roll that Eldritch Blast.
I'll take that.
22, that hits. 9 points,
Oh,
very
plus
nice.
4, so 13.
+4, incredibly nice. Let me grab this. So with that, you let out this force of Eldritch energy straight into the Claudius Cameron chest. He was out stretching his hand for the crystal, and suddenly he's hit with this force, knocking him back into the door. But that sends him into a fury, and he is right back at you. He's about to run into you when Eisen acts first. Eisen, what are you gonna do?
Sorry, Discord's still being a little weird.
No worries.
Alright, so seeing as these individuals probably aren't interested in any kind of tea or smoke, I'm just going to... Do any of them look more dangerous in any way than the others? I know one of them seems to not be wearing a mask, but anything else that just makes one stand out?
You can see that the one in the middle, who introduced himself as Claudius Cameron, he seems to have a more pronounced belt, as well as a more jewels and I can say more jewelry that stands out. His colors are a bit brighter, if that makes sense. And obviously, he's the only one that's not wearing a mask.
Okay, then in that case, I'm going to... Try to think.
Gonna move up, yep.
I'll move right over. Yeah, move right over so I'm lined up with them, and just kind of twists my hands up and starts concentrating the air in my palms and sending it bursting out towards the first man 50
for it.
feet away from me. Go for it.
That definitely hits.
So the first one's 23. That's 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Very
Magical,
nice.
if that matters at all.
Very.
And then my extra attack. Assuming 21 hits, that's 7
does.
more points of damage. And yeah, I'll go ahead and let off a
Might as
I'll go
well.
ahead and let off a key point to do flurry of blows as my bonus action. So that's 2 more unarmed strikes.
Go for it.
I miss playing monk.
Oh my goodness,
So,
yeah.
22 to 26.
Yep, yep.
Alright, so first one is 9, second one is 7. So I just roll over and just start blasting this individual, trying to do what I can before they have a chance to do anything.
Yeah, these punches seemingly from 15 feet away let out these blasts of air, 4 in a row in fact, all smacking into this individual, almost tripping over himself. In fact, he's going to make a dex save. and he is knocked prone with the blast of this of these gusts of air, and he's knocked prone. I will keep that in mind. I will do this. Still figuring it out. Yep, cool. No worries. Is that gonna end your turn, Eisen?
Oh, yes, it will. By the way, can I turn my camera on, or will that mess up your setup?
No, go ahead. Ending your turn, we have Claudius Cameron himself next up, actually. He is going to... He outstretches his hand, Teddy, as you can see his face contort into this, I guess, angry expression, which contorts into a smile. He outstretches his hand to you, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, these are fun. Wisdom saving.
Oh, Teddy.
You feel your mind
I was a
slip.
sleeper agent the whole time.
You feel your mind slip, and you look at his face, and he smiles and he says, "Hand it over and kill them all." And that's gonna end his turn. You're up next, Teddy.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn.
No. I will move up towards Claudius, pull out the Onyx, put it in his hand, and would doing that be an action or a bonus action?
Let's say I'd say bonus action.
Okay, well then with my action, I will turn to Eisen, raise my hand, and let off an Eldritch Blast.
Go for it.
DM just casually, I want him to attack his friends, so bonus action.
You just barely miss.
Oh,
Thank God.
okay.
Damn.
Just whizzes by my hair. I'm like, oh no.
Okay, I see. All right, and is that gonna end your turn, Teddy?
Yeah, they'll do it.
All right. We have one of these side men, as you will. Yep. This one gonna get up off the ground after you knocked him down, and he's going to he's gonna let off a. You see him twirl this dark blue purple-ish color in his hand before not firing it, but gently letting it go as it approaches you, Eisen. And as it gets closer and closer, can you also make a wisdom saving throw, please?
I'd be happy to.
You manage to fight off the effects of this as it enters your almost enters your mind. You fight off. You've had years of control. However, it still hurts as you do take 15 points of psychic damage.
Ouch. Alright.
And with that, he is going to run up over here and turn and face you, Ravander. But that's going to end his turn, as we have the next one. This one's going to do a similar one as he pushes through you, Teddy, and he goes for Ravander as well. Can you make a wisdom saving throw as well, please?
Oof. Wisdom saving throw.
Come on, iPatch, you can do it.
19, that does save. But again, you fight off the effects. However, you do take half damage. In this case, that is 9 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
It's sort of this piercing sensation in your temples. However, it could have been much worse. You get the sense.
Okay.
Cool. Ending your turn, Marcus. You have heard this sound many times before, and you have heard it just now once more. You heard the sound of one of Teddy's Eldritch Blasts.
Yep. So I hear that from down the street and just That's my turn. Just run in.
All right. Move
Oh,
yourself 60 feet
nice.
up. Yeah. Wherever you'd like to
Loop.
place. You're dashing, I'm assuming, right?
Oh yeah. Nah,
Yeah, for sure.
leisurely walk.
Leisurely walk, right.
Yeah. 60 to there.
I'll get you about that, yep.
Can't remember how to fucking just select and go, but there we go.
Cool.
Boom.
Teddy, you swear you hear the clamoring of armor, but you quickly wash it off as you've got other things on your mind. You've got a task to do. And Ewan, you hear sounds by the tavern, and you turn as you wake up and look at Marcus sprinting, full on dashing towards the inn where your friends are staying. You see this and you perk up. It is your turn. What do you want to do?
Yeah, same thing. I see Marcus. I'm like, hey, that's a pretty good guy I just met the other day. He looks like he's in a hurry. I'm gonna start rushing towards the inn as well.
Follow the clanker. Let's go.
So that's 60 feet, right?
60 feet?
I can't. It's too far, too zoomed out. So that gets me like here. I assume I'll have to walk around though, right? Or could I possibly get over this?
You could get over it, but it would require some effort.
Well, I'll. Oh no, I don't want that now. Go away. Think. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna go like here.
Mhm.
And that's
You
my
guys
turn.
ever taken a shortcut before?
That's your turn? No bonus action? Anything?
I don't think I have a bonus action I can do anything with right now. So
Yeah, no worries. Ending your turn,
yeah.
Ravenda, you were fast asleep, to say the least. Was it a pleasant sleep? You tell us.
I guess not anymore.
Not anymore, as you wake up and you see your friends just in it, and Teddy's amongst their ranks. What do you want to do?
I look around the three guys, and I guess I can identify which one looks more threatening, I guess.
The most threatening one seems to be the one that Teddy handed the crystal to.
I'll just look at him in the eye, and seeing as everyone is looks to be doing harm to my new friends, I'll just look at that guy and cast Blight on him.
Okay. Is that a saving throw of some kind?
That's a Constitution.
A
saving throw.
Constitution. Yikes. All right.
Biblical. Fucking do it.
That is a 13.
That fails.
Okay.
So it's 35 necrotic damage.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, did you just fucking prune him?
Okay. You see this. Eisen, you look over and you see Teddy. Teddy's controlled. He's looking at Ravender himself, as Ravender immediately gets up, looks at his hands, and without a second's thought, just fires this black necrotic energy that seems to spread through, up his hand, and as it hits Claudius Cameron in the chest, spreads up and covers his face in these dark, veiny looking like objects. As he is in immense pain right now, and he just backs off and leans against the door. And oh wow, Ravender, is that gonna end your turn? What else would you like to do?
I'll stand up and walk like this way, closer to Eisen, like here.
Yeah, right. No worries. Ending
Okay.
your turn.
And that's my turn.
Top of the round. You hear the sounds of Ewan and Marcus approaching Eisen as Ravender just let off this blast. What would you like to do?
Did him being harmed so much seem to have any effect on Teddy not acting normal?
Thank you
Or
for
is
reminding
Teddy
me.
still trying to shoot me?
Didn't seem to have an
Good point,
effect.
good point.
Okay, just checking. Good. In that case,
You get closer, yep.
sorry, my computer keeps freezing up on me. I don't know why.
No worries.
Oh, and there goes Foundry.
No, great.
Solid.
What I was going to do is, yeah, sorry, this computer computer's terrible. I'm
No,
going
sorry.
to move up next to, like, directly next to the man that just got blighted.
I moved you right next to him. Yep.
And I'll just run up to him and say, "It is not too late for this to end peacefully." Just kind of give him that word of warning before I start laying into him some more.
Solid.
And I cannot seem to use Foundry at the moment because
Just use your real dice. That's
having
totally
a
cool.
meltdown. But
+8
um,
to attack.
yes, and so yeah, I'm just going to start hitting him.
Go for it. Lay into him. Running up to him, getting ready to Fists of Fury. 14 does not hit.
All right. And then I will attempt to hit him with my extra attack. 26.
That will hit.
All right. And how hard is he looking from that blight that he took?
As you approach and you look at him up close, he's hurt, but he's still moving around, and he's still got that twinge of a smile on his face.
Okay, I'm going to spend a key point to try and stunning strike him with that second hit. He needs to make a con save.
He does indeed. I will make that right now. 14?
It would have been better if you asked.
14. Sorry, math is hard. Just barely fails.
All right. He
He
is.
is stunned till the end of my next turn,
Yes, he is.
Nice.
and I'll spend one more key point to Flurry of Blows, my bonus action.
Go for it.
Monks.
Yep.
Yes, and since he is stunned, I do get advantage on those.
You do
so
indeed.
Here comes the fun part. That's a 27,
That'll hit. That's one hit.
and second one is also a 27.
Both hit. With advantage, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I think I'm back in Foundry, so I can actually roll the damage for these.
Both do hit. Nice. I'll just put
So
in.
with both of those, it's 17 more damage. And I'll look at the other two and say, the same goes for you too if you decide to lay down your arms. And that's going to be my turn.
All right, no worries. Yeah, with that, you lay into him once more, and he's looking hurt. However, he's gonna ending your turn. It's back to his. He cannot do anything. So ending his. Teddy, you're still under his control. What would you like to do?
Oh, I will fire an Eldritch Blast at Eisen. Do I have disadvantage because I'm this close?
You do indeed.
That's why I'm closer.
The IQ plays.
15 misses.
15 does miss.
And do I have a clear shot on Ravanda with this guy in front of me or not?
You could lean, I'd say.
Okay,
No.
well, after missing Eisen, I will lean back to get a shot on Ravanda and do the same.
Do it. Let it fly.
To be normal. 18.
Does that hit Ravenda?
That it does.
All right. With this, how is, I guess it's a weird question, but is there like soil and or floor, like, or earth under this floor?
You couldn't ascertain just by stepping on it. I'm sorry. But from the outside, it does seem like it's built on grass. As you walked into the tavern, you'd hazard a guess that it would be. Yeah. That's 5 points of force damage to you, Ravanda, as you see Teddy's head poke out from behind, and his eyes just not there, not Teddy himself. Hand lets out this same ball of eldritch energy, strikes you hard in the chest, knocking you back against a little bit, but you steady yourself.
Okay.
Is that gonna end your turn,
For a
Teddy?
second, I didn't hear the answer.
You could hazard a guess that it is, yeah, based on how you walked into the tavern. You know there was grass around.
Okay, then I will. Actually, no, never mind. Let's just checking for future. Carry on.
Cool. Ending your turn, Teddy.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
All right. This one here is gonna outstretch a hand and place it on Claudius's shoulder, and you see this golden energy, golden light sort of emanate from his hands as the gap between his fingers as he touches the chest, and you can see Claudius no longer looking as rough. And after that, he is going to turn to you, Eisen, and let out a firebolt at disadvantage. I'm guessing a 14 does not hit.
No, 14 does not hit.
Okay, that's gonna end his turn. And then this other guy is gonna do the same to you, but to you, Ravanda.
Okay.
14?
Misses.
Miss. All right, hits the wall right behind you as the tavern now starts to catch a light. Marcus, the things are really starting to pick up in there. You see blasts and glows of energy, and you're right outside. What would you like to do?
These bits here that I'm sort of measuring towards, these are windows,
Those are windows. Yep.
Yeah, visible to like look through.
Yep.
Cool. I'm going to use my movement I can easily get to there, so I'll just hippity hoppity over to their property.
Mm-hmm.
I can see through the window, so I can see their shit now. I'm going to use my bonus action to manifest an echo right behind
Okay.
non-masked bro.
Nice.
So if you'd like to place my echo there, if that's all right for me, sir.
Didn't do.
Lovely, lovely. And the wonderful thing about my echo is I can make my attacks from its position. So, Suor Rûn, let me just go ahead and fuck some shit up.
Go for it.
Attack.
Hits.
21.
Hits.
So normal plus a 1d6 force damage.
Okay, go for it. Not bad.
And then that's my extra attack kicks in.
Go for it.
19.
That hits.
Cool. I'll roll the damage, and they get an extra 1d6 force damage.
Solid.
And then I will
40
use my
points.
Unleash Incarnation to do a final attack.
Wow. Okay.
A 28.
28. Excellent.
Hits.
That's another 15 damage and an extra 1d6 force damage. You should not have given me this fucking sword. Add that up. Maths. Like...
That's about 54 points, 59 points of damage.
I'm not even in the fucking room.
He is looking.
You're like shadow boxing out the window.
Yeah, I'm outside going, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
I'll just put it like this: if he didn't get healed by his ally there, he would be out like a light. But thanks to that, he is up.
And I would like to use my free speech to shout through the window, "Put down the chaos gem, you cunt!"
Okay, he has no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, no.
Ewan, what are you doing?
All right, well, let's see if I can successfully get over this and not fall into some horse shit.
Go ahead and make an acrobatics
So I'm
or
gonna
athletics check.
Yeah. Okay. So that'll probably be acrobatics. Not great. That is 7.
A 7. It did cost you your action, but you are up and over.
Okay. How about movement? Do I still have movement?
You still have some movement, yeah.
Okay, so that's. Alright, I'll just kind of get up right behind Marcus here, trying to peek around, see what I can ascertain. From this vantage point, would I be able to see into the room, or maybe not?
You can see Ravander, and he's holding his hands out towards the other direction of the room that is not visible to you.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Ravander. Or I'm not sure what's going on in there, but you best sort it pretty quickly. It sounds dangerous, and I'll give him some inspiration.
All right, there you go. You got a D8, Ravander. D8, right?
Okay.
I could have given one last turn when you asked me about bonus actions, but I don't know how to play a bard yet.
Ending
Yeah.
your turn.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Ewan, you have this feeling of weird confidence as Ewan approaches the window. What would you like to do?
Ravanda, you mean?
Ravanda, sorry.
Oh,
My apologies.
yes. I was. Hmm. Looking like Eisen and Marcus got that one handled. I'll look to the other two and cast Hold Person on 3rd level on both of them.
On the masked figures?
Yes, on the masked ones.
Okay, that is a 17 and a 10.
So 10 failed. The other one succeed.
Alright. The one underneath Teddy is suddenly held in paralysis as your spell succeeds.
And with my bonus action, I'll heal myself with Balm of the Summer Court for 2 charges.
Go for it.
Nice.
So that's 2d6.
And you get 2 temporary hit points. Always
Yeah.
help.
Very
And
nice.
43. That should end my turn. Yes.
Yeah, no worries. With that, yeah, you've paralyzed this figure and as well as done some healing to yourself. Ending your turn back to the top of the round, Eisen. The one in front of you is looking rough, and the one underneath is looking panicked. What would you like to do?
All right. Well, this friend to my left is still stunned, unless I'm mistaken. He just got healed, right? Not unstunned.
He's been healed, correct. But it is going to be the end of
So
your
he's
turn
still-
before his next go. So
Yes. So he's still stunned. So I'm going to start laying into him some more.
I just realized I would have had advantage on all those fucking attacks.
+2.
I would have
No, he's
said so,
stunned.
but it's
True.
no, he's stunned. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not flanking. It's advantage.
Too late
Yeah,
now.
right.
Well, you also would have had +2. Yeah. Well, you had already rolled half of them before I realized it.
Yeah.
That's alright.
So 26.
Hits.
Actually 28 with the ghost there, which
Right.
Eisen has never seen before, right?
No.
No.
And I will specify, I'm not attempting to kill him. I'm just punching like upper chest and neck to try and just like take him out.
Okay.
So 7 damage. Is he still up?
He's still up currently. Hits
19
with the +2.
hits, alright.
With the +2, it hits. Yeah.
Okay, so 9 more damage.
And with that, how do you want to do this?
Just one jab to the chest, and the second one just goes up under his chin, with my palm, just trying to like maybe break a few teeth and just lay him out on the floor.
All right.
Eisen's typical like kind, warm smile is now a much more stern, serious expression since he's like actually in the thick of a fight. And is the one directly below me paralyzed?
The one below you is not paralyzed. The one down here is.
The one down there. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to, seeing that one seizing up, I'm going to take that opportunity to move around this guy, kind of jump over the bed a bit and get here. Teddy can take an attack of opportunity against me, I suppose, if he has.
No, the spell drops as Claudius is knocked to the ground, and the crystal falls to his right, on the floor, to his left, I should say.
All right, then I will bonus action flurry of blows again to try and take this masked man out, and
With advantage.
any hit against a paralyzed
Crit.
person is an automatic crit, right? Okay.
Yep. Double damage.
Paralyzed, yeah.
So roll to hit first. That hits.
All right. Are we doing crits differently, or I forgot
Just
how we're doing those?
Double it. Makes it easier.
Okay. So then 12 damage.
Yep.
And 12 more damage.
All right. With that,
Nice.
you.
Punching into his chest again.
Is this the one? All right. Yeah, he's looking rough as he's standing still, taking all of it, getting knocked around as he's really struggling. You can see his facial expressions change, but his body's locked.
Alright, and that's gonna be my turn.
Oh, oh,
It's gonna be your turn.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, pretty much it. Ending your turn, it is Claudius. I'm gonna roll. Alright. Teddy, you're up.
All right. Well, do I see the onyx drop to the ground, the crystal? I will immediately pick that up. Would that be an action, bonus action?
Are you gonna reach over to pick it up?
Yeah, I'm picking up the crystal immediately.
Bonus action.
Yes, it is. Well then, as my proper action, seeing Eisen has the guy below me handled, the guy to my right, I will let off to Eldritch Blast.
Go for it. At disadvantage if it's the guy to your right.
Disadvantage.
Yep. Miss and a miss.
Wow.
Wow. I am so sorry.
We get it,
Unlucky.
boys.
I'm so sorry. As he's just too close. You know, he's jutting around as he's trying to like grab the crystal off you, and yeah, it just scattered seamlessly into the wall behind. Is that gonna end your turn?
I will squeeze past Claudius and just kind of screw it, I risk attack of opportunity. I'll just kind of run next to Ravanda here.
Am I able to see when he disengages from him, or is that kind of out of my line of sight?
You could see him as he crosses the bed. I'd say he's a bit out of your line of sight when he disengages.
Okay, that's fine.
Is
Never
it-
mind then.
If you can see where I'm measuring, that's kind of like our line of
Yeah,
sight.
that's
right
what
now.
I figured. I just Okay, never mind. Forgot I opened my mouth.
Okay, he's gonna. Can you make a wisdom saving throw as you leave his area of reach?
Oh, god damn it. Better than last time, that's all I asked.
16. Just fails.
Oh.
As you step out, you feel your muscles lock up. And as you stop about here, I'll move you. I'd say here. Could you make a sleight of hand to see if you can grab the crystal as your muscles lock up, just to secure it a little bit like better? If
Sleight of
not,
hand.
then
Just to lock your fingers around it, basically.
you do indeed lock your fingers around it.
Alright, Griff.
But next up is this one. This guy here. He's gonna step over here and just attempt to. He's just gonna pry it loose from your hands. You've gripped it. You've secured it so it doesn't fall, but you can't actively manage to struggle away. So he's gonna grab it, and immediately after grabbing, he is going to. Yeah. Immediately after grabbing, you see he is. No, he's still within your. Immediately after grabbing it, he's gonna vanish. You lose sight of this hooded figure.
Cheeky cunt.
And that is gonna end his turn. Next up, we have the Howled. Does he get to fight it after each of his turns or no?
I think so, yes.
Yep. Nope, he's still held, still paralyzed. Ending his turn though, Marcus.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn to Huron and just be like, "Gonna see something weird. Don't freak." I'm gonna use my bonus action to trade places with my Echo.
Okay.
So Ewan, you just like, I'm there, and then suddenly a strange, ghostly, armored figure is just standing in front of
Bro,
you.
what
like,
the fuck
in
is this thing?
Yeah. The moment I come into being where my Echo was, I'm gonna slice the fucker in front of me.
He's down on the ground.
Oh, is he down on the ground? Oh, in
Mhm.
that case, he's no problem. I'm gonna use my movement to go over here and slice the other fucker.
Go for it. And he is still paralyzed.
Oh fuck
What I'm
yeah!
hearing is he's dead.
Just give me a minute. I need to find my. There we go. Attack, advantage.
That'll hit. Roll damage.
Yes. And then an extra 1d6 force. And I'm gonna use my extra attack as well because that's just part of it.
Go for it.
Boom. 19.
Yep.
So that's another 19 damage plus another 1d6 force damage. 6. That's a good roll.
How do you want to do this?
I suppose after having turned to Ewan and been like, don't freak out, I just appear and then just like up slice with the Zweihander to this guy.
Yep.
Job done. Looking for the next target.
And as he just
Open his back up.
juiced in front of you,
Yeah. It's like I'm opening a fridge and trying to find a beer. It's just spinal cord.
oh, okay.
Uh,
Yeah, with that, he's just juiced. He's melted. Is that gonna end your turn, Marcus?
Yeah.
All right, and as he's down, we're gonna end combat there, as all targets have been slightly neutralized or neutralized in some way. The dead body of this figure in front of you, and the unconscious body of Claudius Cameron, bleeding, but still seems to be decently okay. Up above. What would you guys like to do?
So I walk in ready to fight.
Yeah.
What the hell just happened in here? I could hear the ruckus from down there.
Kind of frozen in place.
Oh, right. Wait, is he still frozen?
Yeah, the guy who did it's gone, but somehow maintaining concentration. Yeah.
And I would have seen that guy disappear.
From the window, yes.
Cover all exits, boys.
I'm gonna walk
Move
up
to
to
this window.
Teddy and I'll cast lesser restoration on him to see if that works.
I believe that
It's
doesn't
paralyzed.
fix paralysis, does it?
Yeah, it does to fix paralyzed.
Okay, there you go. Teddy, you feel Ewan put a hand on your shoulder, and immediately your muscles loosen up, and you can once more move.
I can't be standing around like that in a fight, man.
Yeah, believe me, it wasn't with my consent. Bad news. They might have gotten the crystal.
I want to be keeping an ear out. I saw a guy disappear in front of me. I've seen Teddy do that a lot. I'm
I would
looking
also like
for,
to try and
like-
keep an ear out.
Yeah, like I don't think this guy teleported. I think this guy turned invisible. I'm covering this window, just like, nah, no one getting out.
Does
Okay.
anyone say, hey, there's an invisible guy in here, possibly?
I did say cover all the exits, and
Yeah,
I
okay.
then say, I don't know if he's portaled or if he's invisible. Cover the windows.
I'll head to the door.
Yeah. You step over the unconscious figure of Claudius. The unconscious body of
Yeah.
Claudius. All right.
I'll kick him in the ribs as I go by.
Okay.
I was hoping you would.
Are you trying to do damage or?
No. I don't think Teddy could with his -2 to strength.
Yeah. All right.
You kick him. He feels a lot better. Like he had a thing with his back and kind of
Straighten it out. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Would anyone care to explain the nature of our unexpected guests? I say, predominantly looking at Teddy. He seems to know the most about these people so far.
Alright, story time, lads. These guys are, well, natives to wherever we are, Pamir. Kind of a cult. They're called the Ambition of Mystics, and a while ago, I may have stolen something very important to them. And by the looks of it, they've gotten it back, so...
When you say kind of a cult, you mean a fucking cult, right?
No, yeah, they're definitely a cult.
Oh, okay, cool. Just Teddy, I don't know with you sometimes.
Right, so I'm coming into this pretty dry. You said you stole it from them, though? Or are you in the right to do so?
They're kind of a death cult, so I don't feel too bad about it.
Fair enough.
Understandable.
Yeah, I'm with him.
Yep, I'm glad I've won the crowd.
Teddy, did you? I mean, we've been around this crystal for a while. That weird fucking cat wanted it a while back. Do you have any idea what they could do with this?
If I'm being honest, it looked real valuable, so I just kind of nicked it. It
That
glowed
tracks.
once. It got real warm, I think, a couple of days ago. That's about it.
So we don't know what they could possibly do with it.
No.
It's just, you saw it,
would.
it looked shiny, and you were like, I'll have it.
Yeah, wasn't doing
Well,
very well financially.
Well, I'll sort of turn to you and be like, trust me, I believe Teddy. I believe everything he's saying right now.
I'm just kind of like looking at these like group. I've known these people for like a fucking day, so I'm just like, stole an evil crystal, got attacked in the night by a cult. Nice.
I'm kind of the same. He's listening carefully, but he's still like not entirely sure what's going on.
Fair enough, yeah.
So, if you're not sure what it's used for, I'm reckoning that guy knows there. And I point at the guy who's like half dead on the ground.
Hmm.
Oh,
That
that
would be
was
a safe
my
bet.
expectation. I'm sorry.
That's all yours.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But that was my expectation when I knocked him out. He might have some more information on the matter.
Good shot. It's always useful keeping a couple alive, at least for now. Do you know if this tavern has any hit baths? Something with a bit of water in it for reason.
Down the hall to
I
the right.
believe I saw a trough outside. Sorry.
I was
Keep
gonna
saying
say
it the
that's
exact
me,
same
like,
time.
I passed a trough on my way in here as well.
Let's drag him out there then.
Yeah? What would you guys like to do?
I would like to proceed to start dragging the cunt outside. If
Okay.
anyone of you, it's very clear what my plan is, by the way, guys. If anyone's known Marcus for any period of time, I'm
I'm
doing
just
some
kind of
dunking.
gathered.
Yeah, you guys
So if
can.
you want to stop me, let me know.
Yeah, I'll assist in helping him outside and move out there with him.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll drag you guys out as well. You see, the wooden trough of water. Usually, for the horses to drink. A few of them awake and just unsteadily shaking in their stables.
I would have dragged him and sort of like propped him up over it. He's still unconscious, right?
Still unconscious, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go, turn to Teddy before I start slapping the dude awake and be like, "You know the sort of questions to ask. You're a persuasive fucker. So you do the talking, I'll do the dunking, and I'll try and slap the guy awake."
He
I'll
shakes
slap him on the
awake.
shoulder. Good cop, bad cop.
Morning, sunshine. Dunk.
Okay.
Hold him for a little bit and pull him up.
Now I'd like to start this off by asking how exactly you found us.
Silent.
I just nod my head.
Yeah, dunk. I'll hold him for a little bit longer this time
'Kay.
until I actually feel his body struggle. Like, you instinctively struggle for air, even
Yeah.
if you don't want to. I'm going to
Right.
wait for that point and then pull him back up.
Yeah, so about 45 seconds later, it's a long dunk. You,
I mean,
he gets back up and he says, "I'm not talking. You can kill me if you want."
Before he dunks him again, I'm gonna look at him and like, listen, it's in your best interest to start talking to us. I suggest you listen and give us what you know. And I'm gonna cast suggestion on him.
Okay, I'll make that save.
It's a 15 wisdom save.
Yeah, I'm guessing a 12 doesn't cut it. No, it doesn't. He says, "All right. I'm guessing you're not the smartest bunch. You didn't connect the
I look
crystal
proud,
glowing.
it's like, he's heard of us.
You didn't connect the crystal glowing to anything, Teddy?
What? Could you dunk him for me real quick?
Absolutely. Quick dunk. Just not too long, so sploosh.
Yeah. You don't think things through, do you? You stole this? And then you said, okay, it's mine now. You don't get rid of it, and you expect us not to come after it.
Let's cut to the chase. Where did he take it?
I have no idea, and that is completely honest.
Where would he take it? You seem like a smart guy. Where do you think he'd go?
Either the desert, Benfir, or he could be in Weiss Radal by now.
It's been a couple minutes. I don't think he's gone that far. Regardless, is there any way we could track him?
You could track the crystal.
How would we go about doing that?
Magic. I could even take you if you want.
I kind of look to the group as in like, we're getting somewhere.
He's got a smile as he says that too.
Eisen kind of raises an eyebrow to the man. What exactly are you planning to do with this crystal?
You'll have to give him a minute because when Teddy looks at me, I think that's the cue to dunk again.
No.
Oh, sorry. I thought,
I'll wait for him to come back up.
Just so you know, I've got magic on him. It's not necessary.
I thought eye contact meant, do the thing. Sorry.
Yeah, he comes back up.
Okay, so now I'll ask my question then. What exactly are you planning to do with that crystal?
Wow, you're really not bright, are you? Go ahead and make a, all of you can make a religion or history check. Arcana would do as well if you're proficient. If anyone's proficient in any of those, go ahead.
I am proficient in none of them. Shall I not do any rolls?
Nope.
What was it?
Okay.
Arcana, history, or religion check if you're proficient.
27 history check.
Jeez, okay.
Fucking nailed it.
Ravenna, you rolling or are you good?
Nah, I'm not proficient in any.
Alright.
Yeah.
Eisen and Ewan. You see the crystal, after the crystal being described, you guys remember or recognize it as one of the crystals of the Hyacinth Wives, a witch, or a coven of women. You started as a group of women during the way back in the Emperor Dusk of the war. They were a group that used the chaos and stuff to progress their own agenda. They first started off by doing arcane rituals to immortalize themselves, but by fusing them, each of their essences into each one of these gems. And you know that the ambition of Mystics, after Teddy mentioned it, is a group dedicated or in cahoots with the Hyacinth Wives that started way back when.
And that's the what wives, sorry?
Hyacinth, I'll type that in the...
Thank you,
Sounds
much appreciated.
There you go. Right, I said that as Eisen somehow, but cool.
Yeah, we've heard of them mentioned before. I remember that.
Me and Marcus would have.
So I recognize this then to be probably a pretty, terrible artifact, kind of important.
Yeah, you could say that. You could say that, yeah.
And Teddy was pretty accurate when he said death cult.
Yeah, so this is truly a chaos gem or chaos crystal or whatever.
Chaos gem.
What's
Sorry,
that?
Sorry, wizard. I know you've got a name for them, but they're chaos
He
gems.
even used the word chaos in his description. I was like, yeah, it is. Okay. Well, I reckon we should probably be getting that back then.
I
I've
mean,
been
we've
here
kind
for
of-
a day, and holy shit. Death
yeah,
cult.
things tend
Evil
to get excited
darkness.
around us. Gentlemen, we've kind of got a lot on our plate already. We've got the hag, the unspeakable evil. The hag was keeping at bay, and now we've got a death cult. Teddy, how desperately are you to be lord of this village?
It would be pretty cool. But, you know, death cults and all, I think this should be top priority. And he says that with just the saddest look on his face.
Oh, Teddy.
Yeah. We have kind of, though, you know, set in motion the whole hag no longer gets fed thing.
Right, which means Ord Dunzummer is free to do as he wants, apparently.
Yeah. Like, if we leave now to go deal with this death cult, which I think we should do, we are leaving this village open to who the fuck knows what.
Well, currently we have no way of tracking the gem. As much as Claudius here wishes to help us, I don't think he's the most trustworthy source.
He's just smiling at you guys in the meantime.
I'm trying to work out if he's broken any laws so I can get him sent to the Archduke along with Samuel.
Attempted murder would be up there.
Assaulted us in our sleep.
That'll fucking do it. That'll fucking do it.
Oh, man.
Alright, yeah. I'll turn to the group and say, you lot work this out. I'm gonna drag this guy to what was the giant dude who was watching over Samuel's name again? What was my notebook?
John?
John, yeah.
John, the guy I'm like, oh man, that's a fight. I'm a turn to the group and say, any last questions for the dunking dude?
Well, I would recommend you render him unconscious first. People like him can be quite versatile, even if they are gravely wounded.
I'm thinking gags, hand bound, all that good stuff. Punch the temple. That'll cover it, yeah.
Probably should. If there's anything else you want to know from him, though, you got a few more hours to get information out of him. Should be truthful enough.
Yeah. Ask away, boys, and then I'll take him off to the cell.
I assure you, I don't mean any harm. It's not necessary to have gags or my hands bound.
One last question. How exactly did you track the crystal?
He's just smiling at you. And he says, like I said before, magic.
Can you be a bit more specific?
You would know of a few spells, Teddy. A few schools, in fact, or just the school of divination is wildly more than enough, and someone of his prowess that you've seen so far probably would be, yeah.
Eisen's gonna kind of lean over him. Exactly how close are you and your companions to reaching your desired goals?
Well, we needed the gems. Now we have the gems. I'd say we're pretty close.
He'll just see you and like run his hand through his hair, like, oh god, what did I get myself in?
Welcome to the crew.
Eisen just kind of starts stroking his beard, starts looking up at the sky, seems to be deep in thought and kind of not paying attention to the man anymore.
We done with this cunt?
I think that's all the questions we got.
Perfect. I'm gonna dunk him, wait until the struggling starts to ease, punch him in the temple to finish the job so he's just unconscious and not dead, and then drag him out, tie the fucker up using my rope. I'll even cut some rope so I can get a gag in. I'll just consume my rope, I suppose.
Archduke Grey will see you now. No.
I'm gonna drag him to the cells where we kept Samuel and fucking struggle my way through the paperwork.
Yeah.
Cool.
As he's like storming off, I just kind of say to myself, like, always so violent.
It's the only life I know.
You've tied him up and you've placed him next to Samuel, who is, wide awake, and he's frantic as you're approaching. John is just sitting in the corner, head in his hands. He looks exhausted.
Yeah, I'll fill John in on what's been going on, and I'll ask her, you've been watching all night, no one's taken over for you?
Nope, just been me.
There's no one else who could give you a bit of a rest.
Could get that fellow Mulch in here. He looks big.
All right. He could probably do the job. I'll go see if I can find him. Get you some sleep, mate.
No, he's in my place.
All right, I'll go fetch him.
He nods.
Wasn't Mulch like the biggest like gentle giant ever?
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
it's gonna be fine.
But they don't know that.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll go seek out Mulchy.
Yeah. He's just in the you see him passed out on the couch, way too big for the couch. Head hanging off the back, blanket covering his torso, but nothing else.
Yeah.
And he's just passed out.
All right, I'll head up to him, give him a gentle shake of the shoulder, and go, "Wait, Mulch, Mulch, big old
Yeah,
Mulch."
yeah. Hi, hello.
Hey, morning. I'm gonna offer him a ration. It's to be like breakfast. And we say, John, the big lad who's keeping on, Samuel. He needs a rest. You reckon you could take over for him? You just need to sit there and look big and tough. You can handle that?
I don't speak.
You don't have to.
Okay.
One of the prisoners is gagged and his hands are tied. You do not let him speak. He's magic, he'll do some tricksy shit.
Oh yes.
Yeah. The other one, he's a scared old man. Maybe try and calm him down.
Oh, okay.
Cheers, Mulch. You're a good lad. I'm gonna have to go find my boys.
He grabs the ration. He steps outside, and
Yeah, I'll take a ration.
John and him crosses as John heads back into his place.
Yeah, John can't be keeping watch for this long, right? And then I'll go find the crew.
Yeah.
So do we just leave the other dead body in there, or what are we doing with it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Teddy would have started kind of moving it outside, out of the inn.
Through the broken window?
Oh, if there's already a broken window, I'm just gonna put him in.
Did we break a window?
Yeah, you broke the window, yeah.
No, there was no.
I teleported through. Ewan might have broken the window.
Yeah, with my bardic inspiration.
Looks like
Oh,
you're
but I'll
dragging it
also help drag the body regardless, however we get it out.
You're dragging it through the.
We can open the window.
There
It's
you go.
fine.
There you go.
No, broken windows only.
Okay, sorry.
It's a video game. You can't open windows.
I suppose I can handle the burial unless we need this poor soul for anything.
Ewan, you said you could talk to the dead. Maybe he'd
Yeah,
be a bit more easy to question.
I was gonna say the same thing. I can ask him a few questions if you think it's gonna net anything. I will say though, he's not forced to tell me the truth or be forthright with me. He could tell me to fuck off or
If he's
all it's worth.
anything like his living companion, I doubt he'll be very forthcoming.
I could try if you
Might
want me
know what it
to, but I
was.
don't know if it's gonna net much.
Doesn't seem too worth it. We have the general gist of what's going on.
In that case, I will kind of hoist the man up best I can. Kind of try and keep the large slash mark through his chest from bleeding onto me too much, and I'll just take him off, like maybe just a little bit out of town. If anyone's coming with me, you can. I'm just gonna bury him.
All right. Yeah. No worries. Easy enough.
I'll use mold earth to just kind of shift the
Bit by
soil
bit,
out
yeah.
of the way. Yeah. Just before I put him in, I will kind of just go over him, see if he has anything on his person.
On his person himself, he has a notebook and a pendant.
Okay, I will take both of those. I'll also take if it's still intact, I'll take the mask.
Yep, mask is pretty much decent condition, just blood on it a little bit, from Marcus. But
Okay, then I'll cover him back up and then give just a brief silent prayer and start walking back, reading through the notebook as I do.
you do not speak this language, but you have seen it before. It is in the.
Oh, what is?
It was in the last tower. It is the language of Arcanium.
All right. In that case, I
Language.
will bring him back.
Not on my.
I'll bring the notebook back, kind of. I'll wave the notebook up in the air and says, I imagine this book would be very interesting if I could read it. And I'm just going to hold it out in front of everyone.
See, me and Teddy would clock that language as well, right?
Mhm.
Like we've seen.
Sword Ravender.
Fucking, it's on my fucking sword in runes. Like,
Sword Ravender actually as well.
I'll head up and grab the book.
That's Zilar's writing. We recently gave that guy a book that could do unspeakable things, he said.
I don't think this is related. This is more of an ancient language that I don't think he invented this.
Alright,
That's
I see weird symbols and I think they're all the same. I can't help it.
Fair enough.
Zalar did invent
Would
the language,
I
by
be
the
able
way.
to decipher? He did.
Mhm.
Okay, well then I'm talking out of my ass. Would
Yeah.
I be able to read this?
You wouldn't be. This is some. It's written in a dialect that seems to be more I guess Arcanium in its purer format. It seems to be some sort of way that they can keep their writings as secret as possible. Obviously, not many people speak Arcanium.
So not even in those late night study sessions with Zalar, I wouldn't be able to pick up like a word. All good.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Really do. Come on. Okay.
16. Flipping through the book, you do see a section of it seems to be some you recognize. A section of it is a spell book, and you do see a few spells that that you definitely recognize. You see the last strike on there.
You know, Marcus, I probably shouldn't have been so quick to strike you down there. I think you might have been onto something.
You know what? I'm done by ain't stupid. When I see divergent tactics, I fucking recognize it. That's a soldier's job. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm starting to think that Zalar might be. I mean, the other day when we were talking about this great evil the hag was keeping away, there was talk of gods fighting each other and trying to take territory, and that all went wrong, right?
No, I couldn't remember. Being frank.
Wizards. That was like part of the history lesson about the great evil. It was like when gods were on this plane and fighting broke out amongst them.
It wasn't amongst them. It was when the people were against the gods. They didn't want their lives to be so heavily influenced.
Even fucking worse.
And Ferul freed Ordenzamor from his fiendish, I guess, chasm, his prison, and let him loose on the Battle of the Omakarin, and that's when, after the war, after the whole trickery and deceit and such, he was sort of imprisoned to that region.
Right. Do you reckon Zalar's come back to finish an old job, maybe? Again, we might be entirely wrong, but it ain't a common language. It comes from one place, and that's it.
Not even that. This is a spell book. Learn spells, and a certain spell that he taught me. It seems he's also taught this man.
We could always go ask him.
Always the diplomat.
Yeah, let's just stroll back across the wasteland, climb into the tower, get through Thrayrul's trickery door, go to a god and be like, "Oi, cunt, did you betray us?"
Precisely. See? You are much more keen than you give yourself credit for.
So all these people around me are just like spitting
I
out.
still think the best shot is...
Yeah, you probably just like, the fuck?
I mean, with your background, you can sort of keep up. However, like the few details, like they said, of being in the tower as well as I think that's the only thing that sort of throws you off. Everything else you
Right,
can
like,
sort of
yeah,
keep up with.
hearing
Yeah.
the interaction that these guys are like, yeah, we just handle this. We're dealing with this. I'm like, what?
You know what those are. You don't know how they're involved with that, like in its current state.
Right. I'll say it's clear to everyone that like even like glances at him. Ewan's face is absolutely just like crinkled, like with that like what's happening expression. Like what have I gotten myself into again? That like,
Yeah.
so
All right. First things first, we need to deal with this village. I reckon we don't have to take out the hag and this great evil. We just deal with the greater problem. The people can probably deal with the hag.
Where are you guys talking
I
currently?
think it's outside the tavern, right? We're just chilling by the.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Unless someone else wants to take us elsewhere. Yeah. I'm just gonna put forward the idea that we deal with this great evil, and then I think the village could be called pretty much secured. You know, between Mulch and John, I reckon they might be able to deal with a hag.
how many dead orc heads did we see on the pikes before?
You counted about anywhere between 20 to 30.
Kind of figured,
Right.
figured the
Oh.
same thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure that the two of them are able to handle it. Molt's ran away in fear for his life, and the rest of them are dead.
All right, so we have to kill the hag and the great evil, and then we need to go fight a fucking god and a death cult. Am I on the right train here?
I doubt the Lady of the Swamp will assault the village in any way. That does not seem to be how she makes her living. As long
did
as
say she's
no
gonna
one
leave
else
them
here.
alone.
Sorry.
I said she did say she's going to leave the village alone.
And as long as no one else here seeks to go make another deal with her, I doubt she has any real reason to cause more harm.
All right, so we can just deal with this, or do the thing.
Or Dunzummer. Or
That's the
Dunzumor.
one.
Ordenzamer, yeah.
Cheers, Tailspinner.
Ordenzalmer.
Yep.
Marcus is still going to pronounce it the way he pronounced it.
Or Dun.
If we can just deal with that, the hag will leave the village alone. Teddy, you have your lordship. Enjoy, have fun. You still need to deal with the death cult afterwards. But let's just do the job in front of us.
Oh, and Marcus, I would be curious to know, what was that ghostly apparition that you were sending around?
I'll summon it beside me. It looks like ancient armor with like sort of wisps of smoke coming out from inside it, and go. I have no fucking clue.
Can I insight check that?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
I'm not even going to try with my charisma roll. I'm not lying when I say I have no clue what it is. But I have some idea of what it's styled after. Like, I don't know exactly where it comes from. That much is true. I'll just be like, I just, it's something that I've just been able to do for a while. I'm not sure where it comes from. I know where the armor comes from. That is ancient shit right there, son. That's 500 and something year old armor styling right there. It's belongs in a museum.
Ewan, make a history check.
Yay, I'm good at these. Okay. That's
Well,
not a
I will
great
say,
roll.
Eisen,
but
it's been mighty handy. Not Ewan,
18.
Eisen.
You've seen this armor before. You in fact have a piece of it where you used to work. This armor is given to a group of military pre-Union in Old Lyra, which is the country that was there before the Union. It was called Old Lyra, and this piece of armor belonged to them. They had a military group or a high group of ranking military officials called the SIAT, the SIAT, and this armor belonged to them.
I'm sorry, what was the pre-union Olmera you said, or
Old Lyra. I'll type it in Foundry.
Old Lyra? Okay, Old
There you go.
Lyra.
There's no verbal response to Maizen, just kind of strokes his beard, looking at the apparition, just and that's all. He just kind of takes out his pipe and starts smoking.
That is a pretty old set of armor there, and not from around here either. How'd you come to be attached to such a thing?
In all honesty, I'm not sure. I sort of glance at Teddy because he's the only other one that kind of knows what's going on with me. And sort of turn back to the group and say, let's just say that I'm looking pretty good for my age, apparently. By which I mean, 500 years ago, I was a handsome bloke. Now I'm still a handsome bloke.
Alright, so you're saying that's your armor then for 500 years ago?
No idea, son. Maybe. Maybe not. No idea.
You know, you may have been right before when you said you had an interesting tale to give me.
In all honesty, I only woke up like a couple years ago in a ditch. I don't know anything from back then.
Yeah, we've all had that day before.
Yeah. This is just a hangover that came with this. I say, gesturing at the armor. I'm piecing it all together. When I learn something, you'll all learn something.
When you came to, were you on a similar sort of armor, or were you naked as the day you were born?
Yeah, pretty much. I worked my way up labouring from where I woke. What I'm wearing now is given to me by the Archduke, so cheers to him. But up until I got this good stuff, all earned through labour, hand and mouth.
Just gonna kind of watch the creepy smoke number for a little while.
Yeah. What were you saying, Eisen? Sorry.
No, he just said, very interesting indeed. Just kind of blows a puff of smoke.
Yeah, Marcus, like, while discussing all of this, kind of looks a bit sheepish, just like, I don't like having to tell people I don't know.
Yeah.
It's clearly something that's just like, I wish I could answer your fucking questions, boys.
Well, by the looks of things, it seems we have this city to protect, and then off to a cult. Or at least trying to find a way to locate the item.
Yeah. Like I said, let's do the job in front of us. We need to find out where this thing is. Try and deal with that. Whatever that ends up being.
Great evil.
I'm certain it will let us know of its presence soon enough.
To suggest that we wait and let it come to us then?
I imagine our chances of survival would be better rather than going to meet it in the swamp.
Right, but if it comes here, then there's likely to be a lot of casualties as well if it's as strong as I feel like it might be.
Well, that is why we prepare. Get people to a safer place and make sure that we distract whatever this evil is from harming them.
I could gather all the hard-worn men of fighting capability, maybe give them a quick 1-2 on how to defend themselves. I'm not saying they fight alongside us, but they will be able to defend the innocents where they're camped out. Great.
Not a
Great
bad
plan.
idea.
By all means.
Or Dunzummer, the endless hunger.
Great name.
What's his name? Mulch described it as like a darkness, right?
Mm.
Or like the hag did.
They described it as more of a presence than an actual person, or an actual
Right.
creature. Yeah.
So, do y'all have any idea how you deal with such a thing? Anyway, I don't know how great your sword's gonna do against a presence.
Yeah, you kind of got me stumped on that one. I'm not used to things I can't hit.
I mean, if we can't hit it, surely that means that it can't hit us.
Or that's some wishful thinking.
A very risky assumption.
We could find out what's binding it to this plane. You know, everything that belongs in this plane draws from something. People draw from life, and eventually that runs out. You know, there must be some sort of resource it consumes to stay put.
Perhaps. It was summoned here by the god of trickery, right? Wasn't the thing?
Yeah.
I didn't get the name, but I wrote down god of trickery.
Feral.
Ferule. Ferule. Yep.
He's a cunt.
So it's summoned here by Faerul. Could it be Faerul that's maintaining it then?
We've met him before. He's currently a door.
Please.
What?
Explain yourself. I've met the god Faerul, and he's currently a door.
He was put in a door by another god. I swear I'm telling the truth.
I'm just like nodding along and just like, yeah. That's what I gather.
A door by another god. Right, and so he's just hunky dory, no power now. He's got 3 hinges and no will of his own.
Well, no, he's got the power to fucking annoy you.
He's a bit cheeky, that one.
Yeah, he's a bit cheeky. Other than that, I think he's a door.
Is that what you guys actually think? I just want to clarify, or is that like a...
No, because like, I know that Marcus actually knows. I'm just playing along
Okay.
for the memes, but I know that Marcus knows that Favoral's not actually in the door.
Got it.
So I'm going to start explaining that. It's like, no. The door was put there by Favorul.
Or so he's not a slab of wood and some hinges. He's
No.
on the other side of the door?
No,
Sequestered?
the other side of the door was where we met Zolar. Which is why I'm not too solid on the fact that we can trust the dude.
I'm so confused at the moment.
Alright. Imagine if you will.
By all
Imagine if you will.
accounts, I do believe. Marcus, continue, please.
Imagine if you will, a tower in a wasteland, and then one day all the magic went out and us cunts were sent to the tower, right? Because that's where the concentration of magic went, yeah? At the top of that tower was a series of fucked up things, primarily a talking door that was put there by Favorite, right? Following so far.
Right.
Once we got through that door, we found ourselves in what appeared to be some sort of office space, living space, that Zolar was in, and that's when we met Zolar.
Right, so Faerul is totally unaccounted for then.
Absolutely unaccounted for. Could be anyone.
Alright. Okay, so tracking it back to what I originally said, could he be the one holding them here?
Absolutely possible, mate. I don't know. Gods and magic, not my expertise.
I mean, if we're still trusting what Zalar told us, and I know that we by all means shouldn't, he did say that that tower was the only connection between the gods' world and ours. Now, if we take that as truth, that does mean that outside here, they don't have much sway in our world. But he could be lying to our teeth, which lying through his teeth
Yeah.
to our face.
Yeah. Well, I actually might trust him on that aspect because if he couldn't, if he could just go wherever he wanted, he wouldn't have needed us and the cult to go gather things for him. So maybe he is confined to certain locations that link him. Oh my god, I'm smart again. Marcus is just like, oh my god, you know when you're on it, but you're probably still wrong, but you don't know that you're wrong.
Yeah.
He's having one of those moments. So there might be a specific anchor for this Odiphus thing that, like you said, is locking it to this plane.
That is what I meant when I said Faerû is a door. I believe that that door is his anchor to this world.
Yeah, all right, yeah, I get you now. Okay,
I know he's not in the door.
Oh, okay, right. I thought you meant Faerû was a fucking door, and I'm just like, yeah. I mean, interesting life you must lead. Okay, so we agree that there's a possibility that this Odiphus is held in place by something.
Or Dunsamer,
Most likely.
That is possible.
Yeah, that's what I said in Odiphus.
What'd you say, Ravenda? Sorry.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the way, at least it's in my notes, the endless hunger tricked the god of trickery, and that's why he's still here.
In a sense. So fiends aren't obviously, they're fiends. They're not the most honest folk. He somehow outsmarted all the Pantheon while they were preoccupied, in the chaos. But once they caught on, they managed to isolate him. That's why he's trapped within the Omegaran, the region of
Okay.
Yeah, that's why he's imprisoned, like sort of imprisoned there, so to speak.
So he's trapped in this material world.
Within the region, you don't know what plane. Obviously, it could be the inner planes, outer planes, and yeah.
It is possible Mulch's people knew where this endless hunger dwells. We could ask him and voyage into the swamp if we are not eager to let it come to us.
Wouldn't hurt
I'd
asking
prefer the
him.
fight not to happen here.
I think I agree with that as well. I think the people are vulnerable if we bring it here. Perhaps we could fortify ourselves and take some time in another place.
I say we speak to Mulch, like Eisen says. Maybe he might be able to help us out.
Yeah, Mulch is currently at the where you have Samuel, just keeping an eye, standing there looking. Samuel's just yelling frantically at him. You can see that Claudius is just smiling, like you can tell his face is into a smile. And just Mulch is there standing, just straight face, nothing, like super resting face, just looking right at Samuel, while Samuel's just yelling at him.
I would like to head up behind Mulch and say, I'll take over for a few moments. My lads want to ask you a few things, if that's all right, Mulchy.
Of course. And
Cool, then. I'll keep an eye on the prisoners.
See you soon, Samuel. And he leaves.
I will disguise to look
Samuel
like a
shouting
hag
about?
and just kind of peek in.
he
You're a
panics.
cunt, Teddy. What was Samuel shouting about when we were approaching?
Say something, let me out, please. You have to
Oh,
move.
right, Mulch was just like stone
Yeah.
faced.
Just staring at it.
Like
Yes,
goodbye,
Mulch.
Samuel, on first
Yes,
name
thanks.
basis. Cold as ice.
I'll share a ration because I need to eat today anyway. So I'll go a half ration with Samuel. He's a prisoner, but he still needs feeding.
Fair enough.
I'm assuming the cultist ate before he came for a mission, so you know.
Good assumption. Yeah, Mulch just sort of, with his stocky build, sort of limbers over, wanders on over. Lumbers over, not limbers. Yes, you wanted to speak with me?
Yes, Moles, we are discussing what we ought to do next, and we're wondering, you mentioned the endless hunger. We do not wish to pester you about it for long, but do you and your people know, at least perhaps the general area which it dwells? If it's kept at bay by the Lady of the Swamp, where is it being kept at?
It is not a being, it is a presence. It stays wherever it pleases. But within the region itself, if no one is here, then it can't get anything. I suggest we move all the people out. Beyond the region. I know my family is here, but it's the best thing to do.
Kind of just look at everyone else and gauge their thoughts.
So we move everyone out of the city, out of the forest.
Where do we send them to?
Go send them to Gavin.
If it is at least a temporary housing, I am certain Gavin will serve its purpose.
As long as no people enter the forest, enter the region, Ordenzammer can't do anything. He needs things to do his willing, to do his bidding. He needs us beings to free him.
So he doesn't have any sway on this material plane. He can control beings to do his bidding.
Yes.
Do you know where that connection lies from his plane to this material one? Is there any chance we could sever it?
I don't know where, but if I had to guess, I'd say either the abyss or the hells.
Well, we know where our next stop is. Then we're going to the hills.
I love the idea to you, and it's just like, yeah, to hell. Yeah, well, what would I expect of this fucking group, you know?
That's 100% what it is too. Like, yeah, we met God in a tower, and he's a door now, and guess you're going to hell.
This is not the most jarring piece of information he's received today.
So you believe it's in the abyss?
I believe it's in one of the lower planes. The abyss, the nine hells, Carceri, Pandemonium. Hell, it could
Do you
even
know
be
if
in.
there's a connection on the material plane to one of those, one that it could be using to?
No, we barely spoke of Ordenzammer. We didn't way less than explore.
Fair enough. Thank you for your help.
Of course, and I suggest, your lordship, that we move the people out of this town.
Your lord thinks that's a great idea.
So you'll be the lord of a ghost town. How's it feel?
Wow, wasn't lord of anything before, so minor improvement.
Fair enough.
At least the title's there.
Silver
Still
line.
a lord.
Still a lord, yeah. Gotta get the benefits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Ordenzammer
those,
comes here himself. You're the lord of him.
You can go to those fancy dudes and be like, oh, I'm lord of such and such, and you're not wrong.
Lord Crow has a nice ring to it.
What is the name of this little village anyway? Did
Suor
anyone ever
Rûn.
find out?
In my
Sort
head,
of.
I've just been calling it Fucktville.
I know it means like ancient place or whatever, and I think it was Elvish, but is that like the proper name of the village?
The proper place is in the chat. There you go.
You're typing as
Yeah, I don't know how
one
to
of
fix.
the
Oh, I'm
tokens.
selected as well. That's why. I got it. There we go.
Yeah, so I can't read that. That's in a language I don't know.
There you
I
go.
can't read that.
There you go. No,
Yeah,
I
so
only
just
know
this,
Common, Elvish, and Dwarvish.
this guy.
And I'm barely passable in all of them.
It's okay. I know like a ton of languages, but so far I've encountered Orcish, which I don't, and Arcanium, which is like, oh, that's a thing. So
Yeah. No
Yeah,
one
it's
knows
not
that
a.
shit, don't worry.
Yeah, it's not a.
You're not alone there.
So what is
okay, so
your
that's
course
the
of
proper
action?
name of the village.
Mm.
All right.
So you guys have been chatting in front of this tavern for about, wow, close to 35 minutes. You've all gotten a rest in. That's fine. Mark off a long rest. I'd say it's about 3 a.m., 4 a.m. at this point. What would you guys like to do?
You're muted, Marcus.
Marking off a long rest, I'm assuming that means I can now change the d6 damage my sword does.
You can.
That was the ruling on it. It's now radiant damage. Fuck anything evil and
Okay, radiant damage it is.
preparing.
Well, on Mulch's orders, I suppose we start moving the residents to Gavin. It seems like there's absolutely no way, unless we intend to fight a god in the next coming weeks, no way that we can stop this great evil.
That's not in your wheelhouse then.
No, we
Beating
talk to
them,
gods, we don't
yes.
fight them.
Yeah, fighting them, not so much. And also, if we are moving the entire village towards Gavin, we can shoot through and deliver prisoners to the Archduke for judgment.
Precisely.
I'm surprised to hear you haven't tried to fight a god already, based on what I've seen the last few days.
Believe me, mate, if I saw one that looked like a fair fight, I'd give it a shot.
Well then, shall we wait till the sun rises and get everyone have their things together and take them to Gavin?
Yeah, let's wait until John's had some rest. He seems to be the one that holds a lot of sway around here, so I think if we can get him on board, he'll help us organise everything.
It's going to be hard for these people to leave everything they know behind.
Absolutely. But, if we can convince John, I think he might help us convince them that it is for the best.
You would be surprised what a lack of possessions in home can do for a person. I think they will be better off than you expect.
No, I understand. It can give you a lot of clarity having the restart, a lot of perspective on what's important in your life. Nonetheless, though, it's a hard thing to go through.
Marcus does not understand anything you're saying. He is literally the epitome of having restarted, and he's just like, I've got no clarity. I don't know what the fuck's going on in my life right now. But whatever.
Is
Yeah, we need to say
that,
to
look
people.
apparent on his face?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's just like,
I just kind of look at him. Give it time.
all right.
Took me around 20 years to really
Yeah.
get the picture, but you do get it eventually.
Well, I'm apparently at 502 years and counting, so maybe someday soon.
Well, I think most people don't have to deal with not remembering anything about how they got where they were. That adds a little bit of a hill to climb and difficulty.
I've managed so far. I'll keep on managing.
Right, just look forward, hit stuff with your sword, and don't worry about it. Am I right?
Exactly. Now you're getting it. Big slap on the back. Gauntleted rifle.
I'm certain that's a difficult hill to climb, but imagine the view when you reach the top.
Bit of a sort of what's the word? Like the same expression you saw when I was handing out judgment to Samuel. You see a bit of that and me going, yeah, view will be great.
Alright, so our plan is to get everyone the hell out of here?
Yeah, seems to be.
Yeah.
I'll wait until I see John up and about. I'll go explain the situation to him, gauge what his opinion on it is.
Yeah, easy enough. You wanna wait a few hours, or are you just gonna go now?
I want him to have a good rest first. Like,
It's been about 40 minutes since he went to bed.
oh, we're waiting then. This man needs to sleep. Like, I can't, and he seems to be the one that sort of runs the joint right now.
Mm.
Um,
Anything you guys wanna discuss in the meantime, or just wait it up?
I'd like to go over to Eisen real quick.
Mhm.
In the next coming hours.
Eisen was planning to just kind of find a spot either in a small clearing near town or on top of one of the roofs if it looks stable enough, and just kind of sit and smoke and meditate. So wherever you find him.
I'll kind of waddle up next to him, cross my legs, and like meditate next to him. Just well, it seems I got a pretty up close look at what you can do in there this morning. I was just wondering, where did you learn how to punch 4 times in a second with the wind?
Oh, it is a matter of practice, you see. I kind of get up, kind of put the pipe away, and kind of spread my feet out and take like a stance, and just punch in the air. Like the air around me kind of vibrates, and I do the fist of unbroken air that shoots outward. It says, I practiced that for about 15 years.
are you
At first,
a
it was
fucking...
nothing, but you'd be surprised how it builds up.
He's a fucking pistol shrimp.
You're not there.
No, our character. He's a fucking.
Marcus
he's a
like
fucking
sitting
pistol
on a
shrimp.
bench, just like looks up. He's a fucking pistol shrimp.
How long did you say you were trapped in the plane exactly?
Oh, about 2 years. That was a different experience. That's where I learned to fly, more or less. It's not terribly helpful here, but if I need to fall
Right.
off a building, it'll be exceptionally useful.
So you learned these abilities before you got trapped in the airplane. Just a coincidence that the elements line up.
Oh, well, I had to develop something to get around, and I just used what I already knew. And, of course, you would be surprised to see what sort of elements I'm capable of. And I kind of, like, snap my fingers, and, like, a few sparks of flame shoot out of my hands.
He's the last airbender. He is. He's the avatar. I don't want to keep hiding it. You could say I was just a bit curious. Thank you for answering all my questions.
Oh, I'd be happy to. Little is gained in the name of progress when information is withheld.
I look really guilty when you say that.
I kind of take note and just kind of nod, like, yep.
Well, enjoy your meditation. Thank you. And as I walk
You're
away,
welcome
I'll
to
look
join
over.
me.
Ooh, I stop when he says that. I mean, that. Sure. Then I'll sit next to him.
Yeah? Easy enough.
All right. I just kind of close my eyes and the slow, steady breaths, occasionally taking a puff of smoke. Are you aware of how to meditate properly?
Not even a little.
Well, then, since like so, close your eyes, slow, steady breaths. And whatever is at the forefront of your mind, whatever goals you wish to accomplish, whatever problems you are trying to work on, just let them flow. Let them slowly seep into your thoughts and analyze them carefully. No
need to rush. We have nothing but time, much more than you might expect.
Kitty just sits there and does everything he says.
Okay, and I'll just kind of casually guide them through, basic kind of meditation. It's clear that I've had to do this a lot.
Yeah, very clear. Yeah. You guys sit there for the few hours it takes till Marcus calls you, but till then, Ravanda, Ewan, are you guys doing anything?
I would like to just
ahead.
slip away from the group for a bit, and then wild shape into a cat and do a quick patrol around the village.
Yeah. Around the village itself, not many people out on the streets. Everyone's either asleep in their houses or just in their houses in general. On the outskirts, not much wildlife. Everything is quiet after a day like that, or the day prior.
Yeah, I'll just take a few rounds and then come back to the group as back to my normal form. Yeah.
Anything else? Well, that'll probably only take you about 30 minutes to an hour.
Nothing else. Just that.
All right. Ewan?
I want to go into the air quotes like prison where we're holding Claudius and Samuel.
Yeah, it's just an outside hut roofed area that you just
Right.
haven't chained. Yep.
But yeah, I want to go there. Partially to just keep an eye on them. I know Mulch is there, but I've met Mulch, and so I don't necessarily think he's the best person for guard duty. So I'll kind of nap, but in the vicinity, and take a little time. I want to ask Samuel a couple questions.
Yeah.
The main one, Samuel. I get the feeling that maybe you weren't the only one in on this. We captured you and you confessed. Was it only you who was talking to the hag?
Yes, it was.
Does he seem like he's telling the truth? Can I insight that?
Make an insight check.
Yeah, 14.
You get the sense that while being somewhat truthful, he is hiding something.
Gotcha. Someone say I'm gonna cast suggestion on him.
Okay.
That's a DC 15 wisdom.
Do you know if it passes or fails?
I'm reading. Let me read it right here. No, it just does it. So I can maybe tell, but yeah, I don't know if he passes or fails, like zone of truth or something.
Yeah, you cast
But
suggestion.
regardless, I'll suggest to him. Listen, I suggest that you tell me more about this hag and your deal and everyone involved with it. You start acting more forthcoming than you've been.
I did it to save the town. I gave the people and she protected. I don't know the deal. I don't know the details.
You don't know the deal.
Well, I don't know the details of it. I don't know what she's hiding. I don't know what her end of it is. I don't know what she does. Or did. You couldn't just leave us alone. We were happy.
I don't know that you were that happy, honestly. At least some people weren't. I walked in here and saw a mother crying over her lost child. You couldn't tell anyone. You had to keep it a secret?
They didn't need to get hurt. Or more than they did.
Why a child? Why a poor little child who's never done any wrong in his life? Why did you send such an innocent one out there to be destroyed and devoured by such a hag? Why didn't you go yourself?
No, I need to be here to... And he stops.
Be here to continue to feed her. And you took the easiest prey you could find. You couldn't ask for a volunteer even.
Just looks down.
So it's just you then, huh? No one else? Just ignoring me still?
Oh, he shakes his head no.
Alright. I'll just kind of look at him with vitriol in my eyes, but stay in that room for the time.
Easy enough. And
Putting the
Marcus,
fucking clamps on him. Love it, Owen.
yeah,
Fuck him up.
what have you been doing this last couple hours?
Me, I'm sure as I was going to say I would have relieved Mulch of his duties and let him go chill while I wait for John. So I don't know if I heard all of that. If I did, I'm
mean,
just sat there the entire time nodding, going, "Yeah, fucking
Yeah.
get him."
It wouldn't have been secretive.
Yeah,
so
you'd have heard it
feel
then.
free to have
Yeah,
been there.
because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to relieve Mulch because Ewan was right. He's not the best for guard duty. He was just there while we were busy and John needed some sleep. So I would have spent my time listening to that conversation. Just go, yeah, fucking, I like this man. This is a good man. But I'll just keep guard for the duration.
Yeah, as the sun rises at about 6 a.m. Over the desecrated Omakaran region, and the new day comes to fruition. That's why we're gonna take a quick break, everyone. Everyone go
Sure.
ahead and
Okay.
do your thing. But stay tuned, and we will be back soon.
Sure. I'm not going anywhere.
Alright.
3. And we are back. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed your little break. I don't know what you did. Keep that secret. Let's get back into.
No, sure. I want a full itinerary of what everyone did.
So let's get back into it straight away. So the day has broken, the sun has risen, and your plan was to escort everyone out of town and get them to a safer place, possibly. But yeah, the day is yours. What would you like to do?
After a couple hours, as we kind of wrap up, how does Teddy seem to take the meditation?
He seems to be enjoying it. He's trying his best to kind of center himself and remain at ease.
As we finish, I'll take one long puff of smoke and kind of go to stand up. I've forgotten how enjoyable it is to actually do that with another person around. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for inviting me. If you ever need someone else to do it with again, I'm more than happy to do it.
Oh, well, it's not about needing someone, but I feel like everyone needs a bit of time to go over their thoughts. If you don't mind me asking, Teddy, how old are you? I know the elvish blood gives people a few more years than expected.
Even then, I don't think it'd matter. 23, 24, it's hard to keep track.
Oh, I see. Now, just curious, thank you.
And do you mind me asking how old you are?
Oh, it does get hard to count when you lose track of the seasons. I believe it is 72 now.
You look great.
Oh, thank you. I do my best with what I have.
Well, that shopkeep didn't seem to mind what you have, and I'll give him a bump on the shoulder.
Oh, I just try to be friendly and flirtatious on occasion. It's very helpful. People seem to receive it well.
Can't blame them.
I bet they receive it well.
Okay.
Yeah,
What else?
no.
Yeah.
Most
You guys
of us
regroup
all
with
start
the.
packing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stride back into town, meet up with everyone else.
Yeah, you guys are all outside next to Samuel. You regroup, and you see John, the big burly man, walk up. You all ready to go? I'm gonna go into the
He
forest.
knows already? Oh shit! No, he thinks that's going on. John. We've been discussing this, and there's been a bit of a change of plan.
Oh?
So, if you look at it this way, the hag can't hassle people if there's no one around, and there's this. I turned to Teddy for a name.
Great hunger.
That's
Well
the
done,
one.
Zamar.
That's the one. That will also cause problems for anyone that remains here. We as a group and your new lord, I say, gesturing towards Teddy, we think it would be best if we packed up and got you all out of this region to start a new life unhindered and unfettered by all of these dark forces. And when I say unfettered, I turn to the group just like, I used a fucking cool word. Just like...
Pat him on the back.
You want us to leave our home? Our place? When we built from the ground up?
Picked a poor place to build it.
Do you actually say that?
You're the
I'm
new
afraid-
royal ale, please.
I'm afraid if you don't, it will not be yours for much longer.
You're right.
Yeah. You know, I understand you all built this from the ground up, and that is an admirable thing to do. But you've proven you could do it once. You could do it again, and in a safer location where you won't be surrounded by swamp and death.
Okay. Okay. I'll go get Rona.
Yeah.
I'll go get Brendan.
Let me know what you need me to do. Gather up food, basic things. Let's try and travel light.
You just get ready to what you'll say to the people. I'll gather them around. You get ready. And he turns and he sets off, scratching his head.
I immediately turn to Teddy and say, "Get ready to tell the people."
I'm gonna write down a speech. Let's go.
Yeah. I should not be the one trying to convince crowds to do things. Because I'd be sat there going, "Yeah, fucking hit things, but over there, where it's safer to hit things."
Perfect.
Yeah. I will make sure the prisoners are secure.
Mhm.
We still have the carriage we came down here with, right? No, because we walked.
You walked here from Gavin.
Fuck.
Carriage
Yeah,
is
we
back in
walked.
Gethlaros.
Yeah. Fuck.
With a bunch of mutants in it.
They can't help the way their land warped around them. I'm sure we'll find a room on a cart to shove them. That'll be fine. We'll walk them if we have to.
About 20 minutes later, John returns. He's got, people knocking, everyone knocking on doors. You see a little Redland running around, knocking on doors, just running from door to door. Soon enough, everyone comes out, and John gathers them up and brings them closer to you guys as he looks up at you, looks towards you guys and nods, and he steps to the side.
I guess I'll walk up to my people.
The music.
People of Suor Rûn. I know it's a lot to ask, but we must leave this place. It will be difficult, the trigger hit will be hard, but I'm sad to say that the great hunger that hides in these woods is too much for even us to fight off. I think the best course of action will be to head to Gavin, and you all may start a new life there, or wherever you please.
Murmurs in the
Trying to
crowd.
gauge the-
Yeah, murmurs in the crowd erupt. People are whispering to each other. Some people saying, "What?" And then John sort of calms them down and he says, "I'm with you, Mr. Crow." And one by one, everyone just
Lord
stops
Crow.
talking. "We're with you, Lord Crow." And one by one, the crowd sort of nod and, do we fetch our things?
Fetch what you can. Fetch what you're willing to carry. Carts, horses, anything that would make the trek easier. We leave in 30 minutes.
Everyone sort of scampers out and goes to
Look
together.
over him at 30 minutes. Like 30
Yeah,
minutes.
I'm like, 30 minutes, an hour or two at least. Like, come on. But he said it.
Seeing
The
their
Lord
faces,
has spoken.
They're seeing their faces. I'll yell out to the crowd as they leave in an hour. We have an hour.
They
You
slow
have 30
down.
seconds to get your belongings or you get left behind. Go.
They slow down. You see the tavern owner sort of handing out horses to the general store, who's got a cart, like a spare cart, and they're taking their stock or whatever. People are coming in asking to put their stuff in the same cart. The carts are used to maybe like transport the some storage of some items. You see some elderly folk and some children sort of mount up on the cart as well, on the carriages I should say, of
Yeah.
the what little they have. And you guys have an hour to do anything?
Helping people.
Oh, for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be helping people like cart up, and at some point I would like to see if I can spot John and quickly approach him. Just be like, you take care of these people, and you're all gonna need a little bit of funding to start life anew. So it's not much, but it's pretty much all I've got. I'm gonna hand him 50 gold, and just be like, this will buy you basic building supplies, get some roofs over your heads when you get to Gavin.
Thank you. I think we're gonna settle somewhere else, but thank you.
Wherever you go, it's not much, but it will help. That's like all my money.
He takes your hand. He reaches out to shake it.
Yeah, and
Big-
if you ever find yourself in Gethlaros, I I'm going to put in a word with the Archduke that you're a solid man of good reputation.
Well, it's been my dream to be in the Crown Guard.
Might not be able to swing Crown Guard, but I'm sure whatever I can swing for you, you can work your way up.
Thank you, Marcus.
Go for like the full like bro handshake,
Yeah.
muscles bulging.
Yeah,
You're a good man. You're a good man. And then I'm gonna go back to keeping an eye on the prisoners.
Anyone else doing anything in the cell?
I'm just helping out where I can, since these people, I need to build a reputation with them, so I'm helping people pack stuff onto carriages, talking
Yeah.
to people.
Easy enough.
Eisen is kind of going around, and any of the younger children, as long as they allow him to, because I know it's probably a scary situation, he's kind of doing what he did in the swamp, kind of sending smoky birds and kind of animating any kind of cups of water to dance in various shapes, just kind of entertaining the kids and keeping the mood light, distracted from the chaos that's kind of going around.
That's awesome. Yeah, just trying to keep them entertained and such. Rivanda, what are you gonna do?
I think I'll just be helping people move stuff, carry things. That's about it.
And same with you, Ewan?
Just recap real quick. Are we going with them, or are we sending them on their merry way?
My plan,
You're
we
escorting
didn't
them
really discuss it.
to Gavin, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
And then I was going to try and talk us into shooting through to Gethlara so I can deliver the prisoners.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're gonna be traveling with them for a bit. I'd probably go to where they have like some food stores or something,
Mhm.
and just start like putting shit in my bag, like as much as I can.
Yeah.
Because I have like just like fill in it with as much food as I could possibly carry.
Can you please leave us some? A woman says as she's.
I'm bringing this for them, like
Oh.
if they don't have to carry it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not stealing their fucking
Looting
food.
these
Okay.
people.
We're leaving in an hour. Whatever you don't take with you, we're having.
Very clear with them. I can help you carry this along for the journey. Save you some space on your cart for the things that you really want to bring along.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to build
the
record
idea of
food.
like a random
I
woman
can see
being
why
like,
that would be true though. This
excuse
is
me,
mine
the
and
fuck?
this is mine. No.
Man,
Like,
all this
yeah.
godly Christ has served makes me hungry.
It's like the supermarkets before the pandemic. People
Oh.
just. Yeah.
No,
It's like
no.
it's like this ain't the only great hunger around here.
All right, that's what Ewan's helping with. An hour later, everyone regroups at the front by the main road, traveling back to Gavin. They're all ready. They seem ready to go. Everyone's perched up, either ready to walk or on horses or on carriages. They've sort of assembled as a community. They've prioritized the elderly and the children on the carriages. Everyone else that's able to walk and carry stuff, they are. And they're all ready to go. They look towards you guys.
Lord.
Your people need you.
We ride.
John approaches and says,
Um,
"I can lead them to Gavin if you have other business."
I believe it's on our way. We have no business here, at least.
Very well. You've done enough for us already. I just don't want to keep you any longer than we have to.
Please don't feel bad at all. As much as I said it when I first arrived, you are my people now, so I'll do my utmost to make sure you are protected.
Thank you. And he looks at his people and he starts walking. And you guys all go to get going.
I jump on the back of one of the carriages and just kind of like hook my arm on something just so I'm not walking.
Fair enough. What's everyone else
There's a
doing?
reason I'm not being
Okay. Some elderly people look at you like, what? Huh?
pushing people off the cart.
I would like to see if I can find some extra rope, so I can bind the two prisoners. Like the cultist is going to be the one at the back, and his hands are obviously still bound and gagged. But I also want him attached to Samuel in the front, so I can lead them.
Yep, no worries.
You know, chain gang style.
Yep, no worries.
Cool.
I'd like to ask John, have you been to Gavin before?
Yeah, a few times in fact.
Well, then maybe you should keep the amount of coin you have hidden. Don't try
Oh,
to take it. Their
yeah.
taxes. You're leaving everything behind. You can't really afford to have some of it taken. I recommend you put it in a safe place and even lie about it if you have to.
Exactly why we're not settling there.
I understand. I spent some time myself in Gavin, and it's not my favorite place to be.
Oh no, the the Earl is not a forgiving person.
When we get there, I have a lot of your swords with me. I'd like to help buy you another horse, at the very least, help carry some of these things for you.
That is not necessary. Your companion there, and he nods towards Marcus. He says, "Give me more than enough. We have enough for a couple horses, in fact, at least to borrow."
Nonetheless, we've asked something large of you. We came in, and though that guy is a total piece of shit, and I look over at Samuel, we did disrupt your way of life, and I know you're allowed to have your boy back, but I can't in good conscience send you on your way without helping out at all. At the very least, that'll be my contribution to this endeavor.
He nods again, and he, "Thank you, seriously."
Think nothing of it.
This is just
Hide your
like,
coins
oh,
again,
they
that
just
place is
became a
awful.
money dump. Fuck yeah, let's spread some wealth.
What else were you saying? You? Sorry. That was it? Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sorry, that's it.
Yeah, my bad.
No, you're good. With that, you guys start the journey towards the Gavin, and it's a few hours at most. It's gonna be longer than when you first went because obviously you got hundreds of people.
I cast Find Familiar and just look through. That's why I'm on the back holding on, so I can look through Cupid's eyes just as he circles, just ahead to make sure there's no immediate threats.
Go ahead and make a perception check for Cupid. Or for yourself if you're looking through his eyes.
Nice. So
Man, look at that nice shiny mouse.
yes, fluorescent.
What is that?
Oh, I'm not gonna. Can I use Cupid's eyesight, please?
Sure.
Physically, it is Cupid's eyes.
It is Cupid's eyes.
You won't get much detail if you're looking through if it's Cupid's, but you'll like, at least have the
I mean, spotting a mouse at 2 miles is
Yeah,
pretty
that's
fucking
what
good
that's what I'm
detail.
like looking through the owl's eyes is for.
Go ahead and roll.
Yes.
Oh fuck!
Wow, that was horrendous.
What'd you get?
8.
8. Oof. Cupid's above, but through the thickets and such, as you're leaving the town to start with, it's hard to spot anything if he's up there.
With that abysmal score, I'll make him fly a bit lower in the trees. Like
Alright.
from darting from tree to tree. Not
Alright.
too far ahead, but
You'll keep an eye out. Anything else within the travel?
I'd like to think that I'm like having a full-on conversation with Teddy, even though he's in the mind of his familiar, so he can't hear shit.
Such a good listener, Teddy.
Yeah, I'm just like, I like this kid. He knows how to listen, Makes me feel, appreciated.
Ravander, Eisen, and Ewan, are you guys doing anything?
No, that was it. Just telling the guy to hide his money and offering the horse. That's it.
Yeah, no worries. Within a few hours, you guys arrive at the town of Gavin. Immediately seeing this group of people arrive, a few Crown's Guard approach, and what is this?
I'll guide the prisoners up the line to deal with these guards as well. I'll just say, travelers pass you through, and prisoners for Gethlaros.
Okay. And they look to themselves and they don't know what to say. They say, all right, and they just back away, keeping an eye on everything.
What the fuck are you gonna do, mate? Like,
Yeah. You see a few people sort of hug others, friends, family, and walk into the town while a few people just wait on the outskirts, ready to keep going.
If we don't have any pressing matters here in Gavin, I suppose we ask the group where they intend to lay down their new foundations. And if it's on the way, we head to get Lara for the prisoners.
yeah. Let's sort of see what John has to say.
Yeah, I was thinking. Go head over
Right.
to John.
So, John, where do you reckon you lot are heading to? What's your compass pointing at?
Well, we talked about the Ariminor Kingdom out of the Union itself, but I think we agreed on Githlaros. Settle down in the outer steads, maybe farm, maybe inside the city if we can afford it.
Good a plan as any. Work hard and attain.
A lot of guards stay in the borough, so where I can be.
Looks like our paths align for a bit longer then.
Well, let's keep going then. I believe a few people want to stay here, and you just the people that left the group to go. And then he says, "I'm ready to keep going, unless you all want to stay for a bit longer."
Turn to the group.
I'm gonna buy a horse.
Okay.
I don't know how much that's gonna cost, but
Just say 35 GP here.
35. Okay. How about like with some saddlebags?
With saddlebags, all the rigging and such, I'd say 50 gold to be safe.
50.
Yeah.
Okay. I will do that. I'll find the like first stable I can really find.
Yep.
Get that and like take all like the food and stuff I was carrying and put it in the bags and
Yep.
present it to John.
And he reaches out to shake your hand. He says, "This means so much. I cannot say how thankful we are."
No, it's no problem at all. Anything to help you. See, I told you I wasn't stealing the food.
Well, it's appreciated. And he gets the horse. He leads it back to help with the cart, and he puts his son up on the horse along with his wife, and he walks alongside as you guys travel the journey to Githlaros. It is maybe late morning here. You'd get there in the evening. It's a long walk.
Okay.
So anything again that you guys would like to do, feel free to go ahead and do so. Otherwise,
So, eating wise with the prisoners, I'm gonna unbind Samuel's hands. I've still got the rope around his waist, holding him to the cultist, so he's not gonna just sprint the fuck off. Let him eat. I'm gonna give him a ration of my own to eat.
Yep.
The cultist is literally just gonna get like gagged down, half a ration, gag back in. Like,
Okay.
This fucker can't speak.
Okay.
He might get out a quick mumble, but he's got hands bound and all that good stuff. So I'll remove ration for myself, ration for Samuel, half a ration for him.
No worries. Yeah, easy enough. Ravanda, Eisen, anything throughout the day?
Nothing for the journey there.
Nothing for the journey. Okay, cool. Moving ahead, you guys. Once again, approach the great towering walls of Githlaros. You traveled through the farmlands and such. You know, people pointing. At this group of people approaching the city. The people pointing back, looking at the farmlands, talking about where they're going to settle. A few people breaking off into the farmlands itself. Maybe because they recognize friends who you couldn't really ascertain. But majority of the group still travels with you to the walls as you approach the southeastern gate of Githlaros. Again, guard come up, but this time they're a lot more assertive. They say, "Greetings, I see you are travelers. Where from?"
I pull out the writ of vassal and just say, Archduke's business, guiding prisoners.
All of these people are prisoners?
No, just these two. The rest are settlers and travellers.
Very well. Open the gates! And the portcullis sort of raises as you guys are shepherded in. Or guided in, I should say.
I sort of glance at the written message and be like, paperwork's the shit.
You guys are guided in, and John approaches and he shakes all of your hands once more and he says, well, we're off. Meeting up with some friends and then we'll look for work and whatnot. Again, I cannot say how thankful I am for all of your help. And please, if you're ever in the city for long, if I can do anything for you, please just look around the borough. I'm sure it'll take some time, but once you find me, any favor, don't hesitate.
John, what's your last name for when I give your reference to the Duke?
Oh, you don't need to do that, please. I didn't do anything, really.
Just in case you ever want to approach him for a job.
Claghorn.
You're a solid man. What's that, sorry?
Claghorn. John Claghorn.
Claghorn. Cool. Cheers. So, maybe you don't take up the offer, but if you do, you're a man of reputation, in my eyes.
Thank you. And with that, he leads him and his family away, and majority of the people actually follow him instead of you guys. And they disperse, and it is once more the five of you. As you are back in the...
Prisoners.
And the two prisoners, yeah.
They haven't just fucked off, have they? Like,
No, they're still with you.
and it's only the five of you. What about the prisoners? They're gone.
They slipped away in the crowd.
No, they're still with you.
Yeah. I'm going to turn to the group and say, I'm going to deliver these guys to the cells. I don't know if any of you want to join me, if you want to find a good inn nearby, and I'll meet you there. The one we stayed at last time we visited did the job.
I actually wouldn't mind talking to the Archduke, so I might join you.
Fair enough.
I suppose I can join as well, if you don't mind. I'm not really one for royalty, but perhaps I will gain some interesting information from it.
All I ask, gentlemen, is you don't stand in the way of judgment.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Well, as long as it's the right judgment, I won't say a word.
I'll guarantee you it is. Sort of give you in that sort of look that we both kind of shared when we learned that Samuel was like giving kids away. Just like we're on the same page here.
Yeah.
And Ravander, I'm assuming you're not going to go off by yourself. Are you going to go with everyone else to the...
I'm tagging along.
No worries. You guys approach the palace. Well, palace grounds, the Highburn Palace, I believe it's called. Let me double check. Yep, the Highburn Palace. You guys approach the walls, and after showing your writ, allow you to enter rather quickly. And as you enter into the throne room, the Archduke stands up and smiles, and he says, "My! Every time you enter here, there's a new person. Oh, don't I know you, Professor?"
I just kind of like
Oh, no,
move
what?
my face away a little bit. Right, you may have seen me around before.
Raise an eyebrow.
Yeah.
He nods, and he says, "Well, I suppose these people in chains aren't your friends?"
Yeah, the exact opposite of that, actually. Especially this one, and I point to Samuel.
Yeah. I'll give them both a push forward, step forward with them, and say, "Prisoners brought forward to you for judgment. Crimes," and I'll put a hand on Samuel's shoulder and be like, "dealing with the eldritch, giving away children that were not his own."
Slavery?
And then hand on the shot.
He cocks an eyebrow.
No, sacrifice.
To be eaten by a hag in the woods.
Have you any evidence?
His own confession.
Samuel just looks down against the ground, and he says, "Very well. Well, just kidnapping it would be 60 days incarceration and a fine of 800 GP. But in this case, I think it's a bit more extreme, correct?"
the circumstances around his crimes are dark indeed. My suggestion would be summary execution.
Well, let's treat it as murder then, shall we? What's your last name, Samuel? And he just looks up and he says, Brooks. And Archduke says, very well. Samuel Brooks, I hereby sentence you to 15 years incarceration in Gethlaros prison, as well as a fine of 6,000 GP, after which you are sentenced to die. And Samuel's like, I have to go to prison and pay, and even after all that, I'm dead. And the Archduke says, the rules are the rules.
Archduke, if I will, if I may, sorry. The man will never be able to pay, and taking up space in your cells will cost the people money.
Well, what can I say? He deserves to think. Straight execution would be a mercy granted. And if he cannot pay, then he has to work. That is my final judgment, and if anything else is stated.
I'll secede to that. I want to push for the just sword, but yeah.
What kind of work will you be doing to make up the debt?
Well, that depends. Currently, we need some miners. Might station him down in Senran. We have a prison program over there. Or he could just be working in the prison itself.
I think the mines would be a fine place for him. He doesn't deserve to see the sunlight.
Well, I'll take that into consideration. Thank you. Take him away. And a guard approach, and they go to take Samuel from you.
I'll untie the ropes connecting him to the cultists so they can shuffle him off. I do look a bit like whatever. Okay. I mean, he's got a solid sentence, but you know, vengeance. So I'll put my hand on the cultist's shoulder and say, crimes, attempted murder, dealing with the Eldritch, theft. He's a spellcaster, so that is why the gag is upon him. Evidence, witnesses, all of us. We were the ones he attacked. He attacked.
Is
your
this
assets.
a member of the Ambition? And he looks at his robes.
Quite a high-ranking one, in fact. And I'm sure, as you've spotted, the robes are indeed giveaway.
Claudius is just smiling up, and he says, well, I think a better judgment is, in fact, in order for this man, I'm going to transfer him to the Harmony Convocation immediately. This is above my head. And this is something that's... the Harmony Convocation is
that's the little conglomerate they've got going on where they like discuss things between the regions, right?
The regions and continents. It's
and continents, yeah.
It's an organization existing outside of government. That's its own, it's got its own legislative and executive branches, whatever. It exists outside the confines of the actual government and the union. And
Oh, sorry. I was gonna ask if just gonna ask if that statement is. Does it seem like he's being truthful in that?
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Nice,
Yeah,
23.
100%. His full intent is to transfer him to. This is above his head. Yeah.
Cults can get their fingers around people, so just want to make sure.
So, spellcaster, huh?
Yeah.
Keep track of that, will you? And he gets 4 of these very, very well armored guard, very different from the standard city guard, the Crown's Guard. All of you can make intelligence checks if you wish. You don't need to. You succeed.
Nice.
That's not bad for me. 15.
What everyone else get?
17.
17?
16.
16. Eisen?
Another 17.
Okay. these are members of the Praxis. It's the military, the official military of Pamir. And they defend. Where the Crown's Guard serve the entire Union. The Praxis are like the actual military of Pamir. The Crown's Guard are like a paramilitary force across the Union, which serve their own state in the event of a, inter-union conflict. But
Gotcha.
the Praxis serve directly the Archduke and the state.
Gotcha.
Very well armored. They stand up. They walk up and they put their hands on Claudius. And they nod at you as they escort him down into the catacombs.
They get a nod of respect from me. Soldiers recognize soldiers.
And as he's escorted away, the Archduke says, "That was a rapid response then, from my vassals, I should say."
We promised efficiency.
And Professor, I didn't expect you to be with this group.
Side eye.
Well, I've been wandering around for a while. I've been away from the college for a bit. I just happened to fall in with them.
Very well then. Thank you, gentlemen. And if there's anything else, looking at all of you guys.
Yes. There was a man who was mighty helpful in dealing with these prisoners, by the name of John Claghorn. He's recently joined this city, and I would just like to give him a good reference. Should he ever come forward asking for work, he's a solid man of good reputation.
What's his expertise?
Fighting, guarding.
Oh, well, we're always looking for men to join the Crown's Guard.
I'll let him know.
And if he's capable enough, who knows? Maybe he can be one of these soldiers. And he gestures to the members of the Praxis just standing guard, who don't even acknowledge that they've been acknowledged. They're just standing at full attention, ready to go.
John said he always wanted to be a Crown's Guard. I'm gonna make this man's dream. Oh, I'm Make-A-Wish. Oh, let's do this.
And he says, thank you all, gentlemen, and I hope to see you soon, under hopefully different circumstances.
One final thing.
Yes.
Would you have any mages, wizards that are capable of tracking an item cross-country, cross-continent, perhaps?
Archivist Colton, of course.
Well, by all means, please point us in the direction of Archivist Colton.
We know where he is.
Is it Colton or Cauldron? My apologies.
It is Colton.
Colton? Yeah, Eldrin Colton. That's
Eldrin
it.
Colton.
Archivist Colton in the catacombs, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I might need to talk to him soon.
Of course. You know where to find him?
Mm-hmm.
I bid you all a good day. And he goes back to his food that he was walking when he stood up. He goes back, sits down, and he starts enjoying it.
Yeah. I'll take my leave. But like clenching and unclenching a hand, just like I should have had a sword in this hand already. You know, I wanted summary execution, but whatever. Rules are rules.
As we are heading out, Asmon's kind of like say halfway to himself, halfway to Marcus, just,
Oh, it's so eager to dole out death.
You saying that in a way that I can hear it?
yeah, no, he's saying it out loud, like partially to
Yeah.
you, partially just thinking out loud.
Only deserved death.
Just kind of use so, Professor of what? Kind of looking over at you and
Like, I'm so glad the topic's not on me. I turn as well and go, yeah, Professor.
It's been some time, but I studied at the Alderton College of History and taught for a while once I was done there.
Marcus looks very interested by this and says, I might be able to ask your assistance in something. If we're already Teddy, you wanted to go see the archivist, right?
Yes, I have a few questions for him regarding our lost crystal.
Ewan, if I might be so bold, while we're there, I might ask for your assistance in going through his records.
Sure, it's no problem with me. I spend many a day and a night going through records and books.
Perfect, because I'm shit at it.
I never would have guessed as much.
Marcus knows you're fucking with him, so he's just like, yeah. Absolutely.
But yes, that's
Obviously,
fine.
the archivist gentleman. Sorry, carry on.
Would I know archivist? What is it? Eldrin Colton?
He actually was a fellow professor at Alderton History of College for a few years.
Okay.
You don't know him personally, but you know of him.
Okay, gotcha.
Whether he knows
we're
of you
gonna arrive,
is unknown.
and they're gonna like throw down gang signs and start like, Alpha Sigma, and we're just gonna be like,
Yeah, it was totally a frat dude back in the day.
But that was his job before he was an archivist, or often on the side as well.
Gotcha.
He's been archivist for a while.
So I would have heard from him, heard about him though.
You would have heard of him. This was some 50 to 60 years ago, so.
Gotcha. Yeah, not quite that old.
So you guys travel to the side of the palace itself, and you see the garden, the side garden. What do you guys like to do?
I need to transfer some notes from my Roll20 across to Foundry, so give me a minute. Because there were some very vital dates in that.
You do remember the catacombs were somewhat hidden, or the archives, I should say.
Yeah, there was like a wall, and we had to press a certain thing, and a door opened, I believe.
Yeah.
Could be wrong, but that's what I vaguely remember.
Anyone want to give it a shot?
Y'all have been here before?
Searching for notes, sorry. Yeah, he caressed the wall, and a door happened.
Yes, I'll get up
Maybe
and give
we
it a
just
shot.
no.
Make an intelligence check, Teddy.
Alright.
He was waiting for that. He's just like, fucking bring it.
What'd you get?
Wow. 5.
That's what you needed. Not
Are you
hard.
serious?
It's not hard.
Okay.
You just have to remember, this was a few days ago. You walk up, you click the brick, you push it down, and the door raises up.
Oh man, I
Nailed
can't
it.
find this note.
So keep mental note that a
I
break
guess I'm
opens
inside.
it.
Yeah, the staircase
There you go.
appears that you're all too familiar with.
Absolutely, head on down.
Yeah, sweet.
I'll
I
follow
found those
everyone
notes. I'm
down.
good now.
No worries. Yeah, as you guys head on down, you find to the immediately at his desk archivist Eldrin Colton.
push you in forwards.
No,
me,
do your
what?
thing.
Isn't my fine. Archivist Colton, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm here with these people. I think you already know them.
Yes, hello?
Just strange why I'm the one talking to you, but nonetheless, they
I'll
have
put my shoulder out from behind you and go, "Nice to meet you again," and then back.
they have something that they're hoping you can help them with. Some sort of chaos gem that they need to locate.
Yes, I can locate anything. Do you have a description of this? Perhaps a drawing?
Never seen it ever, so no. Once again, not sure why I'm the one talking to you at the moment. I'm gonna
I draw it
gesture
on a
over
piece of
to Eddie.
paper.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Very-
quickly sketch it down on like forgery paper and show it.
Very nice. He
Looks like that.
he looks
but
at it
black.
and he says, "All right, I'll give it a shot." And he stands up and he dusts off his robes and he closes his eyes and he presses his fingertips together and quiet, dead silent for a few moments. And he opens his eyes and he says, "Well, okay. I have some bad news, gentlemen. This gem is in the presence of many like it, and he looks up. It's in the wastelands. And that's what we're gonna end today's session.
Like, he fucked us.
So we're gonna call it there.
I knew we were onto something. You know, when we were in that room with Zolar, and I was like, he's very eager to get his hands on his book. By the way, favourite door. And we had that, like, random, just like, nope, okay, fine. Fucking knew it.
Oh, and I stole it from him. My gut instincts was correct.
But then,
You don't
like,
know
he
anything
just, like,
yet?
Zipped in front of the doorway, and then we're just like, we can't really fight a god. Like, so let's give him the book.
You don't know
Oh,
much
cunt.
just yet. Who knows?
What a cunt.
Who knows? Nothing's definite. But yeah.
There are some things that are definite.
Yeah,
Just
that's
put it out there.
thank you all, whoever's still watching. Thank you guys for sticking with us through wow, a few hours of gameplay. This is our first time streaming. I hope you could bear with our talking over each other. I'm sure that'll get better over time. Again, sorry for the choppy experience, but hope you enjoyed nonetheless. And yeah, we hope to see you guys next week. So bye from here, bye from everyone, and see you next time.